Hello, victims, and welcome to Soup Reviews. What's your favorite scary movie? Tonight, it is 2009's Red Hook. Or maybe not. Unrated. Red Hook, written by Sammy Buck and Elizabeth Lucas, and directed by Elizabeth Lucas, starring Christina Brocado and Terrence Mann. The back of the box says, college freshman Jenny Traylor joins her dorm's welcome week scavenger hunt, but as she and her friends decipher the horrifying and cryptic clues, it becomes terrifyingly clear that the stakes in this game are life and death. The movie starts off with a babysitter getting stabbed by a man in a cop's uniform. I don't think he's a real cop. And then he gets killed too, in a scene that is pretty brutal for an opening to a movie. However, the movie never again touches on that kind of brutality. And then we're treated to the opening of the movie, which is set to a pop song, which makes for a really weird opening to a horror movie. What the hell kind of movie is this anyway? So once we get past the awkward opening credits, we find out that that babysitter was actually Jenny's older sister, and she saw the whole thing. Well, she's going to college, so she goes into her dorm room and she finds her dorm mate, whose name is Angela. And Angela knows all about what happened to Jenny when she was little. And then the RA, his name's Tim, he seems pretty cool, and he turns out to be Angela's ex. Spoiler alert, he's not cool, and the school is full of tools. We find out that Tim is not cool because Jenny wants to take a shower, and she gets spooked in the showers by a guy being in there, and it turns out that Tim orchestrated that to happen. Not cool, bro. Not cool. So then you get introduced to this dude named Gavin, and it's pretty clear that he's going to be the love interest. And he takes her up to the rooftop for the view, and it starts raining. Well, they're sharing an umbrella, and this pop tune starts playing, and it turns into a really romantic type of movie, which is... Gavin's the only one that's really treated her like a human being at this point, so it's just really strange. I then realized that I don't know what this movie is. So, after this little meet cute, they go to a gas station that has a salad bar. I wouldn't trust that. Neither would I. So a dude tries to rob the place, but the clerk shoots him in the head. And Jenny has a really hard time with it, naturally, because of what had happened to her sister. But this takes place in New York. And it seems to be an awkward teen love story that happens to take place where people just happen to be murdered. It's like Scream by way of The Notebook, though not as engaging or fun. And I've never seen The Notebook. So Tim is trying to orchestrate this scavenger hunt, and he starts bribing people to join. Well, when everybody meets up to start the scavenger hunt, somebody named the Red Hook sends a text to Jenny that says, quote, Gavin is in his room, when he's supposed to be her partner in this scavenger hunt. So now for an info dump to jump us through the movie. So she goes to Gavin's room and then gets a text that says, oops, and then a girl named Camille may have just gotten killed, but we're not sure yet. Tim shows up at Gavin's room with a dirty shirt, and it's really just a red herring. The detective from the beginning, who kind of finds Jenny's dead sister, starts following Jenny around. The scavengers continue hunting. They find a letter that says, quote, find the clues and Gavin lives, unquote. One group finds pictures of Tim being killed, which looks set up, but it is what it is. Jenny gets a picture of a hurt Gavin. Angela gets gotten. Chappie finds dead Camille. Paula and Roy go to the bar for clues. Roy gets killed. Turns out Higginbotham, which is literally some dude's name, he's Eastern if I remember correctly, Middle Eastern, something like that, has a thing for Camille, but she's already dead. Dina gets stabbed, beats up the killer, then gets stabbed in the back of the neck. There's no coming back from that. Warning, soup spoils. And now for the lightning flash that is the end of this movie. It turns out that Gavin is behind everything, and he's the killer. So Gavin kills Chappie, then gets shot by the detective, and then kills himself by slitting his own throat. No coming back from that. This movie has a severe case of genre dysphoria. This movie has great production value. It looks great, and the actors are perfectly fine, aside from the obnoxious characters that they are playing in most cases. That's about all I can say for the positives. This movie touts unrated on the cover. In fact, their cover is far more fascinating than this movie ever was. There is no doubt in my mind that this movie would be PG-13 if they would have subjected it to the MPAA. Generally, unrated is applied to movies that were edited to be PG-13 or R for theatrical release, and then all the junk that they cut, nudity, gore, etc., is put back in for DVD sales. However, unrated is also applied to movies that have not been submitted to the rating association, such as the MPAA. The really dishonest ones will market that on the cover to boost interest. And that's what this one did. The language is not terrible, the gore is minimal, and there is no nudity at all. Unfortunately, the story is incredibly dull, and the end wraps up so quick that we don't even get a motive for the killer. Because of these things, Red Hook gets an F on the soup scale. Special thanks to Shakefist for letting me use their music. Thanks guys, you're gonna regret it.